everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. This is the second time this season that these NFC rivals will square off, and it promises to be a good one. It always is when these two divisional foes get together, especially the second time around when there's a score to settle from game one. It's the Vikings going up against the Packers. With that, it's out to a frozen tundra and a snowy Lambeau Field. That's where we'll find our commentating team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL, there's a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Smith on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Play clock winding down. Smith. And he'll be hit and releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was in the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. In the slot on the right is Graham. To throw, McCarron. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Minnesota. 42 yards. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there.
All right, here we go. Watch it now, Barney. Back to that Philly. Here we go.
McCarron dancing to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings move it away. Short kick here, fielded about the 17. And there's a flag on the field. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. First down, it's Smith. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 14 there. And it'll give the Packers a first down. And the play clock's running down. A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Cam Chancellor is one of the best safeties in the game, but with his linebacker size, that allows the team to use him wherever they want to make plays.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. And that's going to make it third down and 10.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Under.
Back to throw, Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They're going to go for it. It's Smith. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a first down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. 10 yards still left on 2nd down.
Let's go! 3-19!
To throw, McCarron. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 4 on the play. And just like that, it's third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. 2nd and 10, Smith again. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. And give him 15 more, and it's another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st and 10, Smith looking for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
On 2nd and 10, Smith drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. And out now come the Vikings. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
McCarron. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. To throw, McCarron. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Look at the time. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. The rookie from Ohio State, Joey Bosa, in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Big sack on 2nd down. Now the offense needs to convert here on 3rd. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got time. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. So now here's the 3rd-year man from Oklahoma, Tress Way, on to punt it.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. 2nd and 10, Smith again. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
On 3rd down, here's Lacey. Hopping over the top. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the 1st down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a 1st down.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And Graham's got it over the middle. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. first down. He'll drop to throw it. This will be caught at about the 3. And he's brought down after a good gain. It's a gain of 20 that time. And the Vikings are going to have it now, 1st and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the pack dashing through the snow. He's at the 50. The 30, past the 20, and he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
McCarron going for the deep ball. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. This one complete to Niles Paul. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to air one out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get this all the way to the 40 before going out of bounds. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They begin with a carry for Blue. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Reggie Nelson, the free safety, in on the stop. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for it,
but it's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. I don't think this will even... Nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Now Smith drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So a 3rd and 8.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Smith now to throw, eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller's sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
He finds his man. It's Austin. Call it an even 20 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On 1st down, Smith. Over the middle, he hits Austin. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Again, Smith. Over the middle here to Donnell. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a 1st down.
And Bryant's got it over the middle. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. They'll run with Elliott. And he was Was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Here's Smith. This will be caught at about the 5. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. A couple extra defensive backs are in there. Big play, 3rd and goal. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Now a play fake here on 1st down, and this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And the offense moving quickly to the line. McCarron firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a Minnesota 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They go play action here on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd and 10 here.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
To throw, McCarron. Drops it to Blue, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
In the slot on the right is Graham. Back to throw now on 1st down. And now he'll tuck it and run. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Brown, the lone receiver left. Looking to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that leads to a Minnesota.